At 4, ABC 10 News at 5 starts right now.
San Diego County remaining in the orange tier as our neighbors to the north are now eligible to advance to the least restrictive yellow. What's stopping us from moving up even though we're outperforming LA County in some metrics?
Plus, San Diego is known for being 72 and sunny, but new data shows the city is actually becoming warmer and drier. What the change in climate means for our future, and
they leave here with so much confidence, and it's fun.
A San Diego veteran with a brain injury is proving he can make a difference. The business he started to empower others in a story that is positively San Diego.
ABC 10 News at 5 starts now.
Family and friends are demanding answers from the Chula Vista Police Department in their search for missing mother Maya Millete. It's been almost 4 months since she was last seen. Good evening, I'm Lindsay Pena.
And I'm Steve Atkinson. Loved ones have been holding a rally outside the police station this afternoon. Our ABC 10 News reporter Mimi Alcala joins us on this story, and they are hoping for additional resources to aid in their search for Maya.
They are, and the large group actually just marched over here to City Hall from across the street where the police department is. They're hoping to speak during public comment at the city council meeting tonight to possibly expedite the process by asking for more resources in this case. Now, several people have signed up to speak, and as you can see outside, many more are here in support. Now, Maya Millete's family members, friends, and even strangers have been searching for her since she disappeared in January. Her sister tells us she wants to sit down with police to get some guidance and come up with a better searching plan. She says 4 months is just too long to go without any direct answers. But Chula Vista PD says they are working with multiple agencies on this case, including the DA's office, the FBI, and NCIS, all with the goal of bringing Maya home or holding anyone who may have harmed her accountable. We know the police department has written about 32 search warrants for things like homes, cell phones, and other electronic devices. They've also interviewed about 56 people, including family, friends, neighbors, and witnesses. Still, family says they need more direct communication with police about this case.
Today, we're hoping we can urge Chula Vista Police Department to expedite my sister's case, to solve her case, to get some closing, to get some answers for my family and for her 3 children. We want to tell her 3 children where mommy is. They've been waiting for 4 months. It's way too long.
And we also heard from some of the volunteers who have been dedicating their time to search for Maya and possibly bring her home. You'll hear from them at 6 o'clock. We're live in Chula Vista. Mimi Alcala, ABC 10 News.
Mimi, thank you. And you can follow any developments surrounding this story as they develop by downloading our free mobile app. Just go to the App Store and search 10 News.
Turning now to coronavirus, President Biden is setting a new vaccination goal for the country. Today, the president said he wants at least 70% of adult Americans to have at least 1 dose of the vaccine by July 4th.
In the next 2 months, our focus is going to be on 3 groups. Kids between 12 and 15 who are awaiting potential FDA authorization to get a shot. 2, adults who have had trouble locating a place to get a shot or who just haven't gotten around to it. And 3, those who need more being convinced of the necessity of getting the vaccine.
Demand for vaccines has dropped off markedly nationwide. Biden is calling on states to make vaccines available on a walk-in basis. Tonight, county leaders will vote on a plan that would make it harder for landlords to evict tenants during the pandemic. That proposal by Supervisor Nora Vargas would extend eviction moratoriums for financial hardship to 2 months past when the governor lifts all stay-at-home orders. It would also mean landlords could only evict someone who is causing a health or safety threat to others in the home. Landlords say that is far too restrictive and takes away their rights to use their own property. Vargas says too many landlords are getting around the eviction moratorium and forcing tenants out.
Both state laws have loopholes, and unfortunately, evictions are still happening in San Diego County. Now it's left up to us to put forward temporary protections to ensure the well-being of families in our communities.
We'll let you know what they decide tonight on ABC 10 News at 11. 2 of California's major counties are moving into the state's least restrictive COVID tier. Today, Los Angeles and San Francisco both qualified to move into the yellow tier. Among the changes, gyms can double their capacity to 50%. Bars can open indoors at 25%. Outdoor venues like stadiums can be at 67% capacity, while theme parks can have 35%. Those changes will take effect on Thursday. San Diego was not one of the counties to move into the yellow tier. ABC 10 News anchor Derek Stahl is taking an in-depth look at the different pace of reopenings within California and around the country.
At one point in January, LA County hospitals were overrun with COVID. They had twice as many cases and deaths as any place in the country. But starting Thursday, LA County gyms, movie theaters, amusement parks, and museums can all boost capacity. Dodger Stadium will be allowed to host more than 37,000 fans per game, but Petco Park will stay capped at about 14,000.
There are some other counties, LA and other counties, that are descending a little bit lower case count. And we don't know exactly all the reasons why there's fluctuations or variations in counties.
Supervisor Nathan Fletcher points out San Diego is outperforming LA in some metrics. A larger share of San Diego residents are fully vaccinated. But in the three measurements that matter for reopenings, LA is doing significantly better on case rate, test positivity rate, and the positivity rate in underserved areas, known as the health equity metric.
We look at policies and numbers, and the one thing that is really hard to quantify is what about the behavior of the people on the ground?
Dr. Christian Ramers of Family Health Centers of San Diego has two theories about what's going on.
We see this all the time in medicine. People don't tend to take a threat very seriously unless it really hits close to home. And I think Los Angeles, through the winter surge, was hit incredibly hard. And more people proportionally had a friend or relative or knew somebody who was in the hospital or who died of COVID.
The other theory has to do with the way the state does the math. The state built a point system to encourage counties to do more tests, and LA is doing a lot more tests per person than San Diego.
So even if the case rates are equal, if you're doing a whole lot of testing way above average, you get extra points.
As a state, California had the lowest per capita case rate in the country last week and has vaccinated the most people. Governor Newsom says we're on track to retire the tier system and reopen the economy June 15th. But other states are now moving faster. New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut plan to lift most business restrictions and capacity limits on May 19th. Political considerations aside, Dr. Ramers points out those states are beating California in at least one metric.
The vaccination rates completely change this whole calculation. Vaccination has such an incredibly profound effect at protecting the population.
When you adjust for population, the East Coast states have vaccinated a larger share of their residents. Derek Stahl, ABC 10 News.
All right, turning now to our weather. We are experiencing a bit of a warm-up across San Diego County, but it won't last too long. Our meteorologist, Angelica Campos, is tracking those numbers for us tonight. Angelica.
Hi, Steve. Of course, in comparison to last week, it's not that uncomfortable. Temperatures today were actually in the upper 60s in Del Mar, low 70s in San Diego. And as we look at the temperatures in areas like Chula Vista, a little bit on the cooler side. Most of the heat was in our inland valleys. Low 80s to mid 80s, areas like Poway and Santee made it to 84 degrees. We're going to be adding another couple of degrees tomorrow, so temperatures will be in the upper 80s, which for this time of the year, we should be in the mid 70s for inland communities, and for areas like San Diego, closer to the low 70s. As we look at the winds, it's mostly onshore, but we've seen those winds out of the east dry things out. It is still very dry in our mountains and deserts, but it's not too bad as you get closer to the coast. We're basically in between this dry pattern across the East County and then low clouds near the coast. We'll see the warmest temperatures tomorrow.
All right, Angelica, thank you. Speaking of this, the new climate normals are out today and they show a daunting trend. San Diego is seeing less rain and warmer temperatures. Our ABC 10 News meteorologist Leah Pizzetti breaks down this new data and what this means for our weather in the future.
You hear meteorologists talk about normal. Maybe we are 5 degrees warmer than normal today, or we're half an inch below normal for rainfall this month. Well, that normal gets adjusted every 10 years, and the new averages just released show a trend that scientists have been warning about.
We're seeing trends of much drier and warmer.
The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration has new averages out for the whole country, showing what normal temperature and rainfall data now looks like considering the past 30 years. fires. Meteorologist Alex Tardy says in our region, temperatures are trending warmer.
Not just summer, but every month for San Diego proper is coming in a little bit warmer.
For rainfall, San Diego went from an average of 10.33 inches annually to now 9.79 inches every year.
We've dropped about a half inch. That's quite a bit.
This year is already shaping up to be dry, and the potential for drought is creeping in, and these trends have a domino effect on other important parts of Southern California climate, like drought and wildfires.
They go hand in hand. So when you see a shift and warmer, drier, especially year round, that leads to a longer fire season. So a shorter window of where we're wet and shorter window of where we're green.
Tardy says this validates previous predictions, helping also confirm future predictions that this warming and drying will continue.
So what can people do? It's not doom and gloom. It's not panic. Conserve the water. Have a plan related to fires developing in your neighborhood. Have a plan related to I might have to use my air conditioner this year. That's money.
Leah Pizzetti, ABC 10 News.
This new 30-year average now includes data from the past decade. You might remember in 2014 and 15 were the hottest years on record for San Diego.
More progress is being made in the fight against the Southern fire east of Julian. It's currently 65% contained. That fire broke out over the weekend in Shelter Valley and burned more than 5,100 acres. 3 structures were destroyed. Evacuation orders were lifted yesterday. An SDG&E driver is in critical condition after colliding with a school bus. That scene unfolded this morning at Boston Avenue and South 28th Street in Barrio Logan. Police say the driver rear-ended a school bus. No students were on board at the time. The SDG&E driver was taken to UCSD Medical Center in Hillcrest and remains in critical condition. And we now know the names of the 3 people who died when their boat capsized off the coast of Point Loma. Maria Eugenia Chavez Segovia, Victor Degollado, and Marcela Sanchez were Mexican nationals. They died Sunday morning when the boat they were in crashed into some rocks and broke apart near the Cabrillo National Monument. 29 other people survived. Customs and Border Protection says this was part of a human smuggling operation.
Dozens of people are dead after a train overpass collapsed onto a busy road last night in Mexico City. ABC's Marcia Gonzalez has the concerns expressed about the safety of this subway line years earlier.
Rescuers sifting relentlessly through the rubble of Monday night's horrific train collapse in Mexico City. At least 24 people killed, including children, nearly 80 others injured when officials say a concrete overpass support beam gave way as the packed train passed over it around 10:30 p.m. The structure and train crashing towards the busy roadway 16 feet below, crushing at least one vehicle. The train cars left dangling, crews using a crane to keep them elevated and rescue survivors trapped inside. An agonizing process as family members gathered at the scene awaiting word on their loved ones. This man says his sister uses this line and isn't answering her phone. Mexico City's subway system is one of the busiest in the world, and this, the number 12 line, is its newest, opening less than 10 years ago. Local media reporting residents raised concerns after seeing cracks in the structure following an earthquake in 2017. Mexico's president promising a thorough and transparent investigation, saying, "The Mexican people must know the whole truth. Nothing will be hidden from them." Some officials describe this as the worst mass transit accident in Mexico's history. That country's attorney general's office and a private auditor will investigate. Marcia Gonzalez, ABC News, Los Angeles.
And this just in, former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin wants a new trial. Last month, Chauvin was found guilty of murdering George Floyd. Floyd's death helped spark that nationwide movement pushing for police reform. Chauvin's lawyer claims there was jury misconduct and accuses the judge of failing to agree to the demands to move the trial to a different county and sequester the juror.